The following program is a production of Pioneer Public Television.
Minnesota 4-H Growing True Leaders is made possible by Minnesota Farmers Union, standing for agriculture, fighting for farmers, on the web at mfu.org. Minnesota Corn Growers Association, since 1978, dedicated to identifying and promoting opportunities for Minnesota corn farmers while enhancing quality of life. For nearly 100 years, Minnesota Farm Bureau has been working to preserve, promote, and strengthen American agriculture and sharing the vision of strength and vitality for our communities.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2019 edition of Minnesota 4-H Growing True Leaders. I'm Libby Montrell. If there's one thing that I've learned in all my years of 4-H, it's that there is no shortage of engaging stories to be told, and this year's show is no exception.
First, I'm off to St. Cloud State to see the many contraptions built by 4-Hers at the Engineering Design Challenge. Next, we'll focus on two unique projects, one being an escape room about zoonotics, and the other a 1971 scamper that's been given the ultimate makeover. After that, it's time to see some crazy costumes and learn all about the 4-H Llama project. Finally, we'll turn the camera back over to the 4-Hers and feature a short film they've made. All today on Minnesota 4-H Growing True Leaders. It's early August at the St. Cloud State University campus. Classes haven't started yet, but inside the field house, the main floor has been taken over by 4-Hers. They've brought with them an assortment of clever contraptions, also known as Rube Goldberg machines.
The Engineering Design Challenge is a program designed for young people in grades 3 through 12. It's based off of creating something called a Rube Goldberg machine, which is a machine that is a complex contraption that solves a simple problem.
Scattered throughout the designs are many familiar characters.
Well, our theme this year in 2019 is for a superhero to save the planet. And their machine has to remove pollution from water and put it in the appropriate container.
Our hero is Paul Bunyan. We're from Minnesota, and we're like, Paul Bunyan's the biggest hero around here.
Micro.
Recyclops.
We decided to add multiple superheroes.
So we have Paul Bunyan being our hero, and he went on a little vacation, a well-needed vacation.
And then the villain's Waste Woman. She shoots straws out of her hands.
Iron Man is coming down, the first one. Black Widow's coming down the second after Iron Man hits her.
He comes back from his vacation and sees that a logging company came in and cut down all the trees and didn't replant any of them.
Adult Captain America is kind of like our supervillain, and then the other superheroes are part of our Silk superhero gang.
And then a fishing company came in at the same time and stole all of the fish out of the lake. So Paul Bunyan's mission is to replant the forest and put more fish into the lake.
Now in its fifth year, the program has over 50 teams statewide, with close to 300 youth participants.
We used to do a showcase challenge at the Minnesota State Fair every year, but as you can see from behind me, we outgrew the capacity for our 4-H building.
Jacob and his team from Watonwan County demonstrated their elaborate cube design.
It takes a bottle cap, a piece of plastic out of our ocean, and puts it in a recycling bin.
At the beginning, there's the inclined plane, and then there's another inclined plane. And then it goes into a third inclined plane. And then it goes into a pulley that triggers a mouse trap. And then after that, it goes into like a dump truck that leads it all the way to a recycling plant.
Our design is, well, to help Thor, a superhero, save its planet, and by putting garbage in the hay and then filling it in the nets, and with pretending water's around it.
What we did was get fake curly pondweed, which is the invasive species that we have in our lake. And what we do is have a magnet that lifts it out.
It recycles the ping pong balls.
The designs are very elaborate. Now, it's only limited by their imagination, and it's really fantastic to see the problem solving and the creativity. That's the other great thing about the Engineering Design Challenge. The Engineering Design Challenge teaches what we call 21st century skills, which is the young people work together to problem solve. They work on communication, decision making. We work to develop the skills that they're going to need when they enter the workforce, and then tie STEM into those characteristics and those skills.
There's a lot of team building. They did simple machines, and they learned about velocity and energy transfers and types of energy.
Kinetic energy. So like when a ball is on a ramp and it's just sitting there, right, it would be potential energy. And then when it starts moving, it would be kinetic energy. I love science, so I love the physics in it. So physics.
My family runs a family farm, and then my parents and my grandparents run a trucking company. So I'm going to try and incorporate engineering as much as I can into farming and trucking.
I always ask young people what you learned from this experience, and when you hear a young person tell you, oh, now that I've been in Engineering Design Challenge experience, I'm really interested in science, or I didn't know what engineering was, and now I'm interested in learning more about that. Then for me, we've completed our goal and what we're trying to do.
The cornerstone of 4-H is project-based learning.
4-H gives young people an opportunity to really delve into their passions and to discover what they're passionate about in the first place, reflect upon it, get good at it, and then show the world what it's all about through their communicating about what they've learned.
I couldn't agree more with Jennifer. Each year, I'm blown away at the creativity of 4-Hers and how they use their projects for educational purposes. Today, I checked out 2 really cool projects. The first being an escape room about zoonotics. My kids and I are eager to try it out, but before we enter, I got the backstory on this project from the University of Minnesota Extension intern, Kyle Rickeman.
So 4-H has always prided itself on being on the cutting edge of educating the public on what they need to know. Zoonotics is very, very hot topic right now. Can you tell us a little bit about what zoonotics is?
Yeah, so zoonotic diseases are any diseases that can be passed between humans and animals or animals and humans. So it can go either way. Some examples of zoonotic diseases would be like Salmonella, E. coli, influenza, and we've heard a lot about E. coli this summer actually around Minnesota in the lake. So that's a big example of a zoonotic disease outbreak technically around our area.
And so Kyle, I know that you've got a lot going on here over the course of the fair and you're trying to educate people. Tell me about what you're doing here.
So at the fair, we actually, over the summer, I came up with a zoonotic disease escape room for people to do. I brought it to 10 different county fairs in Minnesota, and now we have it here at the state fair for people to try. So what it has to do is you do an escape room, and it is related to zoonotic diseases. So you have to find the animal that's sick and what virus and what zoonotic disease it has.
Okay, so have people been receptive to it?
They have, yeah. We also have a survey at the end, and most everybody is learning what zoonotic diseases mean, which a lot of people didn't know what it meant at first. And then they're also learning the best ways to protect themselves from getting zoonotic diseases as well.
So at the end of this, people, you told me people are not stuck inside. Everybody gets to learn how to get out, so that the idea is that they actually retain the information, they learn and retain. And so what have people's reactions been? Have they been having fun? Have they been having a hard time? Have they learned a lot?
Yeah, I think the reactions have been really positive. They've been learning a lot for the most part, and I think it's not frustrating because it does give it clues on the whole way through, so they are able to get out, but it's enough challenge that it makes it fun as well.
Well, cool. So we have some kids that will be going through this with myself, so I'm excited to see just how easy it is, or hard it is.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can get out. We might need your help, though.
Okay,
we might need your help.
We had a fun time in the escape room. Kyle definitely gave us a challenge. But 4-H'ers work on raising awareness about zoonotics doesn't stop with the escape room. Another team of 4-H'ers, led by Teresa Gustafson, created a series of informational videos.
Teresa has taken zoonotics to the next level. She's a 4-H'er that was proactive and put together a series of videos. If you could tell us about those videos in your project, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. So we created a series of 4 videos, and we, as in my team, I have 2 other girls on my team, and we've been working on this for quite a while now. We wanted to help stop the spread of zoonotic diseases, and we decided that we were going to do that through the media, because a lot of the times it's just a poster in the barn and people don't really notice those. And so we took to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and we put all of our videos out there at Team Future Generation Minnesota, if you want to check it out. And we created videos that tell you about what a zoonotic disease is, how you can get them, and how you can prevent them.
Well, that's fantastic, and I heard through the grapevine that is actually an animated series. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So you're aiming a little bit younger crowd.
Yes, we are. We figured that if we can kind of get to them while they're young, then they'll remember and they'll just keep kind of passing it on.
Very good idea. Very smart. So why is zoonotics important to you, and why do you think it's important to 4-H?
Zoonotic diseases is important, or zoonotics is important to me because I am a farmer, and when our animal gets sick at the fair, it brings it back to the entire herd, and then everyone gets sick, and it's kind of a bad deal. And that's kind of why it's important to farmers. But for 4-H, I think it's important just because it's for everyone, honestly. It's not just like the animals that you see at the fair, the farm animals. It can also be your cats and dogs and household pets.
Next on my list of projects is this old camper sitting in the heart of the 4-H building at the State Fair. The Scamper has been given a complete interior overhaul, worthy of an HGTV designer.
So tell me a little bit about this process. How did you come up with this idea?
This idea took me 3 plans to come up with.
Okay.
I was like, I want to go kind of farmy, and then I was like, no, that's just, it was small when I got it, and I was like, I wanted to make it feel big. So I was like, we're just gonna kind of go with the comfy, like, artsy, like, she shed kind of deal.
Got it.
So I was like, let's just get rid of the whole bathroom and the closets and everything. And I was like, we don't need them. I got rid of all that, and I was like, a fireplace would make it feel really cozy in here. So I put in some fireplaces and then some comfy chairs and everything.
Well, I will tell you what, my friend, good job. It absolutely gives it a comfy feel. This is the kind of place that when you're at the State Fair running around, it would be a great place to just come in and take a nap.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Take a little time off. It is very, very cozy, very comfortable. So as far as laying this out and actually doing the construction of it, were you out there with the saws and the tape measures and all that kind of good stuff?
Yes, I was out there with everything, doing everything. It takes a lot of learning curves to figure out how to do different things. And I was out there breaking down walls every day when I first got it and just gutting the whole thing because it was super nasty in here.
Yeah, how long did it take you from demo day to completion?
Almost 3, it was just over 2 months, so okay. 2 months in like 2 weeks.
Labor of love for sure.
Yeah.
And your plans going forward with this beauty is to sell her, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to sell it and use some of the money for my future projects.
Okay.
And then I'm hoping to donate some of the money to my 4-H club.
I love it. That sounds fantastic.
As I've said before, the variety and creativity of these 4-Hers projects is amazing. While 4-H projects are one of the public demonstrations of 4-H in action, an often overlooked fact is that 4-H is a program of the University of Minnesota Extension.
University of Minnesota Extension is a statewide organization. We are part of the university, and 4-H is our youth development program.
Dean of Extension Bev Durgan is no stranger to 4-H. She herself participated while growing up in Montana.
I showed beef, and in fact, my nephew from Montana who was in 4-H was with me a couple days ago at the beef show, and he looked at me and goes, "Oh, I miss my beef steer." So, I think all 4-Hers, it was a great time for them, and so they think about that time and go, "Oh, I wish I was still doing that."
Dean Durgan agrees that creative freedom is a huge benefit of 4-H.
You can be in the beef program, but you can also be self-determined that you want to give a demonstration on whatever, and you can do that in 4-H. And so 4-H is a very unique program in that it's really the 4-H who decides what they want to do. They can be part of a club, they can do it independently, they could be in an after-school program, they can go to camp.
A crowd has gathered outside the livestock barns at the State Fair. Who are they hoping to see? No, it's not the president, nor a Hollywood actor. It's not even the local weatherman. The star of this show is the llama.
It has gained tremendous popularity. In fact, you'll see here at this event, the public comes out, the 4-Hers come out. I mean, it's a pretty popular event.
Llamas are a big thing. They're a social movement. You just Google llamas and, there's llama yoga, there's llama clothes. So people love llamas. And I think it's because, they're a big animal, but yet they're a very approachable animal. And they're just so pretty.
The costume contest is just one part of the 4-H llama encampment held each year at the State Fair. There's an obstacle course, a limbo challenge, showmanship, and more. I'm eager to learn as much as I can about the 4-H llama project and the 4-Hers that make it a success. I began my fact-finding mission chatting with two veteran 4-Hers, Isaac and Megan.
This is Rico. I've had him for about 5 years now, and I own him. And we do obstacle and showmanship together.
And this is Blue. He's 3 years old, and I've been showing him since he was probably 8 months old. And I've been bringing him around the country and around the Midwest and showing him.
They all have the different personalities, so some can be really easygoing and love to be pet, and other ones will be hard to catch, and they will be worked with, but they have one person that they like. And they can be stubborn, but once you work with them, they'll get used to you and be able to do stuff.
Llamas are shaved once a year. Their wool is often sent to a mill and turned into fibers used in clothing. But a llama's soft wool isn't its only gift.
People will buy the llamas and they'll use them to guard their sheep and goats and cattle and stuff like that. And the llamas will protect them against wolves and other predators that would normally go after the prey.
Even more surprising is the truth about llamas and spitting.
A lot of people hear that llamas spit, and so when they find out that they don't really spit at people, they're shocked and they're like, "Oh, well, I heard they spit," and it's, well, they really don't spit at people.
Having cleared up that myth, I wished Isaac and Megan good luck and made my way over to Mary Beth Sinclair, a volunteer leader in the Llama Project.
Can you tell us what you do with the llamas?
I lease llamas to students and members in the 4-H program.
And so how many years have you been doing this?
Oh my gosh, 8, 9 years.
Now my kids also lease animals. We lease dairy cattle. And so can you tell people a little bit more about what the lease program is all about? Because many people don't have exposure to this kind of program.
What it is that I have 12 animals and my children are done in the program, and I wanted to continue the Llama Project in Lyon County. So I offer to these members to lease an animal for the summer. It basically starts from May through October is their lease agreement, and they show the animal, they take care of the animal, they practice with the animal. The animals do stay at my farm, and they do come out there and do things with them out there and help us on the farm.
For those people out there that are thinking, boy, this sounds really cool, because those llamas are really cool, what's the cost involved?
I don't charge anything for them. The only thing I ask the members is to be kind to my animals, and when they work with them, to be kind to them is the main thing. A llama, if you're kind to it, it will respect you, and it will respect you and do what you want it to do.
Without a doubt, the costume contest is the most popular event of the llama encampment. Both 4-H'er and llama dress as a complimentary and a very creative costumed pair.
When you're at the fair, you've got to have cotton candy, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What's your llama's name?
This is Basil.
Basil. So Basil's actually dressed up as a different kind of food.
Yes.
So how long did it take you to come up with Basil's idea?
Not very long. I mean, love cotton candy, and I was like, you know what? Let's just go for it and make him pink.
The amount of detail on this costume is ridiculous.
So we have 2 2x4s and a third 3x6 that are nailed together like a cradle that cradles her back. And then we have 2 pool noodles cut in half, and they're put there for support. And then we have 2 ropes. One going around her girth and one going around her chest.
So we got a little cat in the hat going on here. So tell me about your llama.
Well, his name is Aspen, and he likes to give kisses.
Oh, he's so sweet. What? Oh my gosh, I just got a llama kiss. My life is complete.
The costume contest is divided into several competitive divisions. Within the divisions, 4-H'ers are judged on how their llama handles being covered in costume, the creativity of the costume, and the materials used to make it. I had the chance to speak with Kylie Stafford, who won the senior division as Charlotte's Web.
This is my 8th or 9th costume, and we usually plan our costume at least the week after that we go home from the fair, so it takes a whole year. We get a lot of our stuff on sale, like Halloween decorations went into this, and then we usually end up putting it together, and then we slap it on her at the fair. We don't really try it on before, so this is only the second time she's had this particular costume on, but she's taking it like a champ. So
she is totally taking it like a champ.
It's been a blast seeing all of these 4-H'ers with their llamas in costume. I've also learned a lot about llamas, but I'm not done yet. Inside the horse barns, a crowd is gathered around Michaela and her llama Fred.
We've seen a lot of llama action here this year, and llamas are really sort of a hot button kind of animal right now. Tell me why.
Who doesn't love a llama? You walk them around and everyone's heads turn and you bring a smile to everyone's face. And that's why I love working with my llamas, just bringing them out to the public to meet them. Because a lot of people, they love llamas, but they've never met one. So the experience or the chance to meet one is really important to them.
And so you were telling me a little bit about judging, and it's interesting to me because part of your judging is actually how you appear in public. So can you tell us a little bit more about that piece of your judging?
So one of our classes is called Public Relations. So it's basically anything that you may come across when bringing your llama out in public. So it'd be having someone stand up, pet your llama. Your llama's not supposed to react, freak out, or balk at all. You may have to sidestep them, back them up, maybe even have water sprayed on their face, and they're not supposed to react whatsoever.
Well, I think Fred is doing a good job here, especially with a camera in his face. Speaking of public relations, I hear that you have been really active in your community with Fred, and I think it's so fun that a 4-H project can be so impactful in your community. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Fred is actually a therapy certified llama, which means that I can bring him to nursing homes. I brought him to Mall of America, and I'm hoping to bring him to hospitals eventually. And I love doing this because when you bring a llama in, they're expecting dogs or other small animals, and everyone's head turns, everyone gets excited. I bring them around into the living rooms of the nursing homes, and everyone just gets so excited.
So I know that you just started working with Fred when he was 5, and now he's 11. So he got a little late. He started a little later in the game. So how have you done over the years with Fred?
Good thing I'm as stubborn as a llama as well. So when he tried to push me around, I stood my ground. And here we are today, therapy certified, going to the state fair, people coming right up to him, petting him, and he's not reacting whatsoever. So I'm think we're doing pretty well.
Well, I think he's doing great, and I'm very proud of you for all you've done, and keep doing this for the community. It's fantastic. And Fred, good luck tonight, my friend. Good luck tonight.
While I'll always be a dairy girl at heart, my desire to have a llama of my own has gone up dramatically. The Minnesota 4-H Llama Encampment is a fun, unique experience that further demonstrates the variety of options 4-Hers have to showcase their talents and build crucial life skills. And now, it's time to share with you one of several videos made by 4-Hers at this year's State Fair. Enjoy!
President John F. Kennedy once said, "Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other." As we've seen throughout today's show, 4-H youth from across the state are doing and excelling at both. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the next generation of leaders growing straight from the bountiful garden that is Minnesota 4-H. Until next time, I'm Libby Montrell. Thanks for watching.
Minnesota 4-H Growing True Leaders is made possible by Minnesota Farmers Union, standing for agriculture, fighting for farmers. On the web at mfu.org. Minnesota Corn Growers Association, since 1978, dedicated to identifying and promoting opportunities for Minnesota corn farmers while enhancing quality of life. For nearly 100 years, Minnesota Farm Bureau has been working to preserve, promote, and strengthen American agriculture and sharing the vision of strength and vitality for our communities.
One, two, three.